I'm Alec Adamek. I'm the program director at Architecture for Humanity in New Orleans, and I'm also the project manager for this project, which is a tree nursery in the Ninth Ward.
And I'm Michael Vega. I'm the co-coordinator of the New Orleans chapter, as well as, I guess, the drafter on this project.
And this is just a picture of us meeting once a month, talking about our projects in New Orleans.
So Architecture for Humanity is a local chapter of a national organization that just is a bunch of design professionals working towards organizations in need. In this particular case, we're one of several organizations working together to help Common Ground. Now, who is Common Ground?
Common Ground is a local community organization that brings volunteers in from around the country to help rebuild wetlands in New Orleans. So they have a tree nursery in the New Orleans East, a large one, and then also a smaller one in the lower Ninth Ward, which is where our project is. And it's going to be a kind of a classroom learning space.
This particular project was great for us because it really helped us get to the core.
How do we get the project? Well, Tom Pepper, who is in charge of Common Ground, he's in the audience today, was talking to my friend Joel there, who's sitting next to him, and they're drinking together at Marquis Bar, and Tom had this great idea for this project, and Joel knew that I was involved with Architecture for Humanity, so he passed it on to me, and we said, great, let's do this. And it's an important project because?
Well, okay, so it really gets to the root cause of Katrina and destruction and hurricanes and everything, because it's helping to make something so that they can help remake the wetlands. It's a nursery for plants to go. They take volunteers, they take the plants, they go and they plant them in the wetlands. And that little light spot is the nursery right there in the Ninth Ward at the bottom of the Claiborne Bridge, about 2 blocks from their office, which is just off the site. And so we picked this project up from a couple of groups that it's a tell us what it is.
Okay.
This is what we started with.
This is what we started with. There were some French engineers that came and helped out with Common Ground, and they built this platform. And Michael and I went out there, met with Tom, said, great, let's do this. And I came out there another weekend with some Tulane students, and we measured everything up, and we said, we wound up going and having this, this is the original concept from the French engineers. And we said, this is a great concept. So there's actually a pool where the building's going to cantilever over the pool, and then rain is going to come off the roof and drop into the pool. So we liked this as a basic concept. We went out there, measured it all up, and then we had a design session at their offices 2 blocks away from the site. And we came up with kind of a very detailed sketch of what we wanted to do. And you can see from that sketch, we have wall sections, we have a bunch of ideas saying, okay, like now comes actual making. Like we have our ideas, but how do we actually turn this into design? And this is where I'm going to let Michael talk about some of the details of this design.
Well, so one of the first things we came up with at this meeting was to take the fence that is on the property line, as fences are, and move it through the middle of the building. So we took a good chunk of the site, you'll see in the bottom left there, and actually gave that back to the community. That this is now a community space. People come in. Those stairs on the left bottom side are a space for people to gather and learn about stuff, as well as there's bulletin boards and community things there for them to use. On the other side of that fence that's through the middle there is more of the private aspect of it. It's a learning center. You come in, it's all screened off because, mosquitoes. You can look out over all of these plants in the pond and everything and see what they do. And so it's a good way for them to bring in volunteers and donors and whatnot to get things going. And so our job basically was to take all of these ideas and turn it into something that volunteers can build without any prior knowledge.
We also involved Tulane students. So Lee, who's a Tulane student, had this great idea for this stadium seating, then with planters in it, which would have the natural grasses and stuff that would be growing. So they'd be right there. You'd be sitting in them while you heard lectures on how important this stuff is. And so Lee came, designed these stairs. He's going to go help them build it, and then we'll be able to photograph and put in his portfolio, which is a great thing if you're a student at Tulane. Everything's ADA accessible. We try to make stuff really easy to build too. So like people that don't really have never built or never seen blueprints can easily build this. Even if they screw it up, it doesn't matter. And it also has this kind of like this motif of the grasses in the wetlands was kind of our concept there. We also had the structural engineer come in. Since there was that platform, we didn't know what the structure was at all. So we developed this crazy system to bring everything, make it whole, had an engineer come and say, okay, yeah, that works. That'll hold it down in a hurricane because it's basically a flying wing.
We also passed it off to another tooling student that works with us, and she took all our drawings and put together this 3D model to also give back to Common Ground so that they can then turn around and bring it to volunteers and donors and stuff to raise money to make this thing actually happen, to get it made and built and exist. At the same time, we also went back through the drawings again and counted up all the different pieces and parts that made it. A lot of these are just straight lumber because we didn't want to make it too complicated. So we counted it all up and gave that back to them so they can price it out and buy it. Have it all ready because we're passing this off to volunteers that are coming down from, I think these guys came from Wisconsin, is that right? Somewhere in the Midwest. And they're looking at our drawings, looking at the material that's on site, and putting it up. And that's actually underway. It's a little past there, but that's underway now.
So there's the platform and the roof. It's not quite built yet, but we're getting there. So if you want to come and help build, you could go talk to Tom Pepper in the audience over there with Common Ground, or if you want to get involved designing, doing projects like this, we've done a number of projects, and we will be meeting next week.
Tuesday, 7:30 at the Other Bar, which is the actual name of the bar. And yeah, so if you want to volunteer, if you just have an idea of something that needs to happen,
we need more projects too. So we'd be happy to hear you out.
Thank you.